listen and listen well. Anybody murders something in the Capitol, capital punishment. Capital punishment. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And it's a very strong preventative. And everybody that's heard it agrees with it. We have no choice. So in D.C. and Washington, states are going to have to make their own decision. But if somebody kills somebody, it's the death penalty. Okay? You heard him, right? And I'm already getting the donkey DMs. Yo, he's a fucking racist. Yo, so what are you saying that black people is the only people who kill people, you dumbass donkey? Like, shut the fuck up. They already talking about January 6th. Yo, well, he should have the same energy for the people he freed that murdered on January 6th. Well, why they ain't getting the death penalty? Like, what, you idiot? Anybody locked up right now for murder, they won't be seeking a death penalty for them. It ain't going retroactive, you idiot. If you fucking catch a body from whatever date they set from that day forward, when they put it in effect, then they will be seeking for the death penalty for you, you goddamn donkey. They talk about, they got the, yo, it ain't gonna work, like, oh, they gonna still be killing each other. Oh yeah, buddy? You believe that? You think it ain't gonna work? Why the fuck you think that you don't hear about police getting shot like that? Because in the back of a motherfucker mind, he know if I motherfucking raise this gun at this cop, that's death penalty. But here, run down on your ass, bam, bam, bam. Remember Carlito Way? Bam, bam, bam. Knock you down. Police gun, wheel, wheel, wheel. Put the gun down. I retreat. Okay, don't shoot. Yeah, we already know how that go. But if the death penalty was to come, guarantee freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation about keeping firearms out? It's always a young white male. Almost always. How can we stop it? And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands. And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation about keeping firearms out? It's always a young... Tyreek Hill is a superstar NFL wide receiver. One of the best to ever play wide receiver. Well, Tyreek Hill made a huge mistake by marrying a chick, and now they divorced. This is why I say marriage is a scam, fellas. Don't listen to me. I'm married, I'm happily married, but you gotta marry the right type of female. But for most men, marriage is a scam. It's set up for you to fail. The system is set up for you to get raped. Okay? So here's the deal. So Tyreek Hill has divorced his chick, right? They were married for like 15 months. Less than 2 years. Barely over a year. He got to pay her $500,000 up front. Then he has to pay her $50,000 per month. Okay? And the judge says, you know what? That's not enough. There's more. There's more. All right? On top of that $50,000 a month, they have a house in South Florida, a mansion that's a waterfront property that's well over $5 million. The house. With all that being said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Crocodiles. I want to give Ba'ashem, Crocodiles. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who teach us this 100% truth, who labor day and night to making sure that we get this 100% truth, that some of these elders and apostles and bishops, they stay up long hours, making sure that we are well fed. So most definitely want to say thank you for that. And double honors, and never take that for granted, because this truth is very serious. And peace and blessings and safety to the Akim that's out there spreading his word and sincerity and truth. The hopeful elect
144,000. So as you can see, Mr. Trump has already put it into law. So if you kill someone in Washington, D.C., that's it for you, man. Which I must say, it should be that way. Especially if you take someone's life unjustly. You should have your life taken. Well, this is only going to apply to these 2/3. And this is basically for them. The 2/3 that don't want to do right. They see the videos. Everybody has turned on their cell phone, computer, or tablet, laptop, and had at least seen something from Great Millstone. So it's no excuses at this point. You know, whether you're man or woman, old man, old woman, there's no excuses at this point. This word is going to go out and it's not going to be void. So if you're out there causing mischief, that's going to be it for you. Let me bring in a few scriptures. So I want to bring out this scripture right here. And hopefully this lesson is edifying. I like how it was brought out in Psalms 82:2. It says, "How long will ye judge unjustly, and accept the person of the wicked?" Well, now for all these years that people were getting away doing all this senseless killing, and this was done by wicked people, and it's asking how long. Well, right now it's being answered. For all you little youngins that's out here doing all this craziness like that, and doing all this wickedness, y'all 2/3, y'all was doing all this injustice, carjackings, stabbing, shooting, and a lot of times when y'all do want to pay someone back, y'all just shoot y'all bullets anywhere, and sometimes, and it has been a lot of times, that y'all have hit innocent people, and they had to suffer. Some have been paralyzed, some have been permanently injured, and some have even died. I remember it was a shooting way back in the day in like Southeast, and these kids hopped out the car, and they had some rivals that they were shooting at, but it was other people out there. You would think that they would be like, it was an old saying back in the day, you know, no old people, no innocent people, and no little kids. That's how people had more honor back then. But as you can see with these youngins, they don't. But basically, they hopped out the car and just started shooting everywhere, and a little girl, lost her life. And they end up catching those boys, and those boys showed no remorse, Salakia, and they end up going to jail. But it says to accept the person of the wicked. Well, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah ain't accepting none of this no more. That's why all this is happening now. He's going to allow these Edomites to come down on y'all. And they're going to come down on y'all hard. Because y'all just don't want to get right. Y'all just want to keep doing whatever you want to do. And that's what y'all been doing for the longest time. And I also like how it's brought out in Proverbs 11:7. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish. Yeah. A lot of y'all wicked people have expectations that y'all just gonna keep living forever and doing what y'all want to do, and then y'all parents and mothers always are like saying, "Oh my baby, oh my baby." A lot of y'all gonna be put to death, and the expectations that y'all had that y'all gonna keep doing what y'all gonna be doing is gonna be put to nothing. Cause that's how it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down just like that. And also in Proverbs 29:27, an unjust man is an abomination to the just. And see, we get tired of dealing with y'all unjust people out here. Because we already going at lengths in to teach y'all this word. And a lot of y'all are very, very disrespectful. Y'all will send messages. Y'all will say derogatory stuff. Y'all will even go to the extent try to send emails, and even try to, if y'all know someone personally, even try to call people's phones and leave text messages and stuff like that. But all this is coming to an end. All this unjustness that y'all doing, this decree is coming down, along with what's going to happen anyway. Once these race wars start and this division starts, y'all like to shoot y'all guns and act all tough. But guess what? These ICE and stuff, they're going to be mobilized against you. And it's going to come a time that they will be firing upon you. And these military that's in these cities, they're going to be firing upon y'all. And they're going to deal with y'all swiftly and quickly. And some of them not going to even arrest you. They're just going to blow you away. But I also want to get into some scriptures for that school shooting. Hold on. All right. So with those school shootings, I remember seeing on another brother video, he was showing how basically they had a little pre-video saying basically as soon as school starts back, there's going to be school shootings. Not even 2 weeks, not even a month, not even 3 months, not even a half school year started. And there has been a school shooting. It has been a school shooting. But people are not understanding where this is coming from. So people think God just loves and he's not going to pass no judgment. But as it's brought out here in Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. The living God, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And see, when you think about that day, those people fell into that. See, what people are not understanding is he sees all, he knows all. He was the first to get the news, if you think about it. Because he knows everything. And when you look at what happened on that day, Shalaki, that was judgment passed. 2 kids lost their life that day and more injured. That was judgment passed on that day. Judgment. And it's hard for people to say, to accept it. They say, oh, well, how can you say it's just a little kid? Why would God do something like that? Hey, listen, man. I didn't write the book at all. But if he say he's going to pass on judgment, he's going to pass on judgment. As it also brought out in Hebrews 10:27. But a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. If you look at that church, that church ain't spreading the truth. That is an adversary of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're not telling the truth. They're not telling the correct name. They're not letting people know who are the true Israelites and how to find your way back. They're not doing that. So since they're not doing that, and if you know the history of the Catholic Church, they was enslaving God's holy people. That's what they was doing. If you know your history, they were doing that. They had a hand in that that slavery, and they even used Bible verses to justify it. So you don't think that that's judgment that's coming down? I mean, it's something really to think about. That ain't nothing but judgment. And it's hard for people to accept it. But those that are in the know, we accept it. And we clap our hands because we know that the Heavenly Father is paying back for what was done. It's just like if you keep having someone who's harassing you, picking on you, or causing you harm, or causing you, bitterness, just like how the Egyptians did to the Israelites in Egypt. They cried day and night to the Father. And what did he do? He eventually paid those Egyptians back. Yeah, they had to go through a process, but he paid them back. And for those that was faithful, that was something to remember. And that's why it was written down in the Holy Scriptures. But we're going to move on to the last video. We're going to talk about how that woman, that wicked Eve, took all that man hard-earned money. But it's also a life lesson learned that a lot of you young jakes need to be thinking about. And you really need to be thinking about, don't even worry about these women. You need to get these scripts. And these scriptures is what's going to sustain you. When stuff gets so hard, you're not going to even think about a woman. Let me bring that up. All right, so we're going to go into Deuteronomy 28:56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Now, I don't think they had any kids, but let's say that they did have kids, and she did all this divorcing. What a lot of people don't realize when you try to explain that the woman is not the same that she used to be, and she has really gotten worse and worse, is that a lot of these women have separated their children from their father and even put threats upon separating their children from their father, knowing that the father is the head, and actually it's more important to have the father than the mother. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's not true. It has to be 50-50. Yes, you do need the mother. I'm not going to say that is not needed. But the point is, you need the father more than the mother because, see, we are teachers, us men. Women are teachers too, but women are more emotional and affectionate. And even when sometimes children do stuff wrong, they'll let them get away with it. And people say, oh, that's not true what you're saying. You're talking a bunch of nonsense. Well, you know what? What I'm saying is true, and I'm going to break it down. If you look at all these little young YNs that's out here, most of them are being raised by women because the courts have allowed the man, well, not allowed, but pushed the man out of the home, having now that the woman is the sole provider of the children, whether it's male or female. So now you have young girls who are more masculine. You have young boys who are more feminine. And all that has caused is destruction. So when you see these young generations going berserk and out of control, you have to look at who are the parents, who is in the actual household. So if a woman, as you see in this verse right here, all right, it says that her eyes shall be evil towards her husband. So she's showing no regard for the headship, because she decided, no, this is my baby. And you will constantly hear women say, this is my baby, this is my baby. So now she has pushed the man out. And it says, and towards her son and towards her daughter. So now you're taking away the father from their kids. And a lot of people think that the kids only need the mother to have affection and to have leadership. And what you find is you find young boys that are more emotional, don't think, and then you have more females that are more aggressive and more out of control and don't think. Because it used to be a thing when a girl brought a man home, she'd be like, hey, I want you to meet my dad. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't happen no more because there's no dad in the home. And then when the boy would want to bring home one of his girlfriends, he'd be like, hey, Dad, what you think, man? She pretty? That doesn't happen. And what happens is now that it's just the mother, now you have the mom wanting to sleep with the daughter's boyfriend, which has happened so many times. And then also what you happen is you have the son that comes home and tries to show the mother, because now she's the parent. Now she's pushing the girlfriend away. And now she doesn't want to accept the girlfriend because really she's trying to use the son as a husband. So she doesn't want him to leave because she will be lonely. And then now that's going to cause the son to stay home and become a nothing man. So this is why all these things, I mean, this place of Babylon is coming to nothing, man. It's coming to nothing. And it's going to be nothing. And there's nothing y'all can do to stop it. This place is falling because judgment has come upon this whole face of the earth, but especially upon Babylon. So with that being said, I want to give double honors to I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Mill Stone, who teach us this 100% truth. We labor day and night, making sure that we get this 100% truth. Peace and blessings and salutations and safety to the hopeful elect, 144,000, the 1/3, and all the brothers that's out there laboring, spreading this truth and 100% truth. Shalom.